Welcome to Bamfordrose, and it's question of the week time. In this week's question of the week, it is, why can I not book my Mercedes era Aston Martin into Bamfordrose? Okay, so this is the second century plan cars. This is new V8 Vantage with a 4-litre Mercedes engine. This is DB11 with a 5.2 twin turbo, or the Mercedes engine, DBS Superleggera and DBX. Those cars I just mentioned need the new Aston Martin Diagnostic #2 version. We, as lots of other independents, have got Aston Martin Diagnostic 1 version. Now, the factory do sell AMDS too, and I did inquire about buying it and looking after those cars. Now, you really need the diagnostic system, because these cars often need rebooting, reprogramming into life. So you could get yourself a generic fault code reader. There are several good ones on the market. You could take one of these cars in, service it, reset the service light, reset any other fault codes that happen, and everything is fine. But how many of these cars actually need rebooting into life whilst they're under the custody of the garage because something went wrong? You know, maybe a component was taken off, like a door, you've turned the ignition on, airbag light comes on, or the car's just gone into a bit of a state where it needs resurrecting. That resurrection isn't a fault code reset, it actually needs reprogramming. The V8 DB9 era cars often do that, and then once you've resurrected them, they're fine. Whatever caused them to go on a glitch, low battery or something else, you know, it happens inside the workshop, and you get yourself out of trouble with being able to completely reprogram every module, body module, door modules, engine module. You can get yourself out of trouble. Now, if you didn't have that level of equipment, AMDS 2, and you just had a glorified fault code checker, then you wouldn't be able to get yourself out of trouble. Now, I can't be in that position. I can't go to a dealer needing their help to fix a car. So you need really AMDS 2. Now, AMDS 2 is an internet-based program, so when you buy the equipment at a hideous price, I was quoted with a laptop £54,000 plus VAT. The program doesn't actually sit on your hard drive that you just bought. You have to buy a subscription. Let's just say I wasn't happy with the terms and conditions of the subscription, so I couldn't go through with the deal. Now, any business owner, if they're looking at 54 grand plus VAT, a flutter out of one hand, and looking at the terms and conditions that they have to sign for a subscription on the other, I think most people would have to say, do you know what, I can't sign that bit of paper and let that amount of money go. How about I just buy it off you and you give me a subscription without any terms and conditions? Well, obviously they're not going to go for that. So they've created a situation where you'd have to be a stark raving lunatic to separate yourself with that amount of money at the risk of your subscription being pulled from you. Which means that a garage like this, you know, one of the most prominent new era Aston Martin specialists, isn't looking after quite a chunk of cars. You know, 2016, 17, this era crept in, and now there's going to be cars that want to go in naturally on age, come out of the franchise network and go into the independent network. Well, I can't book them in. I cannot be certain that I can solve every eventuality in-house with the equipment that I've got, and because the equipment that I've got is too expensive and comes with some terms and conditions I'm not happy with, then I'm not buying it. Unfortunately, I can't look after those cars. Now, this does cause a big problem because I have lots of owners that have gone through the Aston range, gone up the ladder, and now they want to get into a Mercedes era car. They don't want to go to a franchise dealer because that's not their ownership experience, for many reasons, which we won't go into now. But they can't come to an independent. It'd be interesting to see which independents do buy it. You'd have to be happy with those terms and conditions, which I certainly couldn't sign. I think it will be very few, and you know, 54 grand plus VAT is a lot of money. You've got to work on an awful lot of cars, years worth of cars really, before you get your money back on it. So it's an investment that don't really make sense. Now, like I say, it causes a few problems for everyone really. I have had someone on the phone say that they had a 4-litre Mercedes V8 Vantage engine that needed 8 spark plugs and coils. Their franchise dealer was charging them with that $5,500. Obviously you're going to want to book into an independent when you're faced with a bill of $5,500 for spark plugs and coils, but you can't because the independent won't take the work on. So several problems. What's going to happen? Well, people are going to realise that this era of car, you are locking yourself into a franchise dealer. We spoke about this before on videos, but not really gone into it in this much depth. So if one of those cars really do appeal to you, you are definitely better off to have an extended warranty. It's the lesser of all evils. It might not cure and solve everything for you, but it's probably the wisest choice. That means that you can't go to an independent specialist. So when making your mind up, which car do I buy? Ownership experience, going to a franchise dealer, not going to an independent, that's going to form a big part of that choice. If the market doesn't favour that, because a lot of people don't like that prospect, it's all too much money. Buy the car, pay each year the warranty, this ownership experience is just too expensive. Then they're going to stray away from those cars. Now this will sort of be counterintuitive for the factory because they probably did what they did so they keep the cars within the dealer network. But now they're expanding. They've got DBX, they want to sell in big numbers. They've got DB12 coming online, which does look quite a beautiful car. Hopefully that sells a lot of units. You're now going to have the dealers rammed full of PDI and warranty work on those cars. And this is going to have a filter down effect. Right, well those slightly older cars, well they're going to have to take second place being booked into a workshop. So it might take even longer to get the car fixed. Incidentally, it's going to have another filter on effect to the V8s and DB9s, because when a DB12 is under for a PDI or there's warranty work going on and you've got your 20-year-old nearly DB9 in there for a service, how do you think you're going to get prioritised? That's just my guesswork, but I'm sure a garage would prioritise their work. Every customer is as important as the other, but I guess that certainly a PDI or warranty check is going to take precedent, especially if there's a backlog. So you're going to end up with, I said it being counterintuitive for the factory, you're going to end up with a load of potentially disgruntled owners of that era of car not really properly being serviced by a garage. They can take it to the dealer network. It's going to be too expensive. It might take too long. They can't take it to the independent world because the independent world has been locked out financially in terms and conditions on buying the kit, probably by design. This is, if you think about the sort of ramifications from it, they might have to rethink their philosophy. But the AMDS 2 system lives on the internet. That's a big problem. It needs to be on a C drive, because an independent garage is always going to want freedom. They're going to want to go out into a car park. They're going to want to go into a different country and use the kit freely. If you have to log on via an internet, you're not going to be able to do that. So even if they make it cheaper, the whole principle of it being on an internet is just a no-go. So I think you are always going to get that divide of that Mercedes era car being locked into a dealer. And as they age, is that a good or a bad thing? And how will that affect the factory? Be interesting to find out your comments, so comment below. Click us a like, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on next week's Question of the Week.